that's it. So it was just, I guess that particular day, something snapped in his brain.
Well, I was curious about that because that's a lot to go on down there.
Yeah.
He's not used to that.
Yeah.
I was just kind of wondering how he
I
was
wish he
handling
would
that.
clean up, but that's, his business, not mine.
Well, we'll get rolling here when Tina makes her way
That's
in.
fine.
She'll make her way in here. Call the meeting to order at 6:10. A little bit late, but that's okay. We'll skip the pledge. Roll call, Sharon.
What do you want to do about Tina Thompson? Have her as absent or but she's present?
Put her as absent for now and then just notate in the minutes when she comes
Okay.
back in.
Chris absent. Jeremy Smell.
Present?
Charlie Stahl.
Present.
Kevin Miller. Sharon Long here. Tim Miller. Ted Long.
Here.
SARPD.
Okay, so we'll move on to agenda amendments. Does anyone have anything they want to add to the agenda? I know we don't all have to in front of us. It's
Is
The
the one
thing
item
about
for
this-
the appraisal.
That's her, yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
That and budget.
Municipal authority discussion. We are adding that.
We'll probably do most of that in the executive session. And then if we need to come out and amend, we'll add something. But I don't think there's any actual action that needs taken on that tonight.
Okay.
That's more discussion. No visitors, so no written requests. We do have a bills to be paid list here in front of us. Once we've had a chance to review the bills, I'll need a motion to pay them.
Second.
Motion by Kevin, seconded by Jeremy. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries to pay the bills. We'll move on to old business. We have authorizing appraisal for our property on Raymond Road. Now it's been demolished. So I'll need a motion to authorize seeking an appraisal from.
I have a guy if we approve it, and we
Yeah,
can talk
could you-
about that.
That's kind of who I'm thinking.
So I'll make the motion that we look for or we seek an appraisal.
Okay.
And then if you guys want a second, then we can talk about it real quick and all.
I'll second that.
Okay, so I have a guy, Ron Brown. He's done a lot of appraisals for me. I contacted him prior to this, like last time we were here, and just said, if we approve it, could we turn it around quickly so that we could possibly sell it to this resident if it comes in low enough? I didn't tell him any kind of numbers. He seemed confident that he could do that for us quickly. So if we approve it tonight and everybody gives me the okay to like call Ron and set it up, I found his prices to be fair and reasonable.
Yeah, I think, is he the one we used when we had that appraisal down on 66 here? You used your guy, whoever, if he's always been your guy.
Yeah, it may have been him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was reasonable price.
And that was a
whoever did
commercial.
That was a
so this
commercial,
would
yeah.
probably be much less. So
Is this to buy a water department?
no, this was
We'll get
we
there,
just-
Zena.
we just made a motion to basically
Appraise that property.
appraise
on
the
Raymond Road.
property, and I was just explaining like that I have a guy if we approve it, and you guys give me
Yeah,
the
turned out
okay to
pretty
call,
good
and I
down
will.
there, too.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look
I
at
did,
it.
yeah. We'll
It's
check
great,
that.
it's real nice. He took
Pretty
that
good to
wall
work
out.
with, too.
Ron Gillette.
Yeah, and his
That's
son,
good to know.
Noah handled all that.
And he'll be doing our other one too.
Yeah,
when we
I'm
get it
gonna call
scheduled.
him tomorrow because I think Sharon did like 1,000 hours of dealing with that like any power, trying to get them to get in there and pull that line off of that house. So
Well, that's been
they didn't yet, but now they're saying that it will happen next week.
my on a separate note. That's been my battle with a property in downtown Lynchburg. I can't get a hold of anybody to come take the line off the
So
house.
you know what finally worked? And it was actually Ted's suggestion, because I was doing the call, sitting on hold forever. And he said, surely there has to be some way to email. So I went on their
Yeah,
website and I emailed, and that's how I was
I
getting
got that
answers.
today. That I because I did the same thing. I would get a regular customer service rep. They would say, "Okay, we'll transfer you to our marketing or
Hold
whatever
for
division
hours.
it was," and then never got anybody.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, so yes,
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to authorize an appraisal for our property on Raymond Road. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries, and Jeremy, if you would,
I'll
yeah,
reach out
if
to
you wouldn't
Ron
mind, that'd be
and get
great.
it set up.
Awesome. Okay, so other than that, we have budget. Sharon, if you want to talk a little bit about what you did here
Yeah.
for us.
So, in the next year budget column, I went through, these are just my thoughts and suggestions. I did, when I came up with these numbers, I did like a trend based all the way back to 2021, I believe. So I did increase some of the incomes because where we have been budgeting it was on the lower end, and the trend of the last
That's
3
what
years
you said,
showed that it's
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it mine?
it's possible, and this is still, under, so it shows that it's possible. As far as additions, I also made a few additions, and I left one blank. Let me find the actual account number for you. So, on page 4, code enforcement salary, Charlie gave that suggestion.
Yeah, I just threw a number out there since we're kind of playing it by ear for this first year to figure out what works for the code zoning, so.
Same thing, yeah, code zoning, and then, so with that, I added a line item for code enforcement supplies, because he's has nothing. But I didn't put any number there, because I didn't want to just make that call on myself. And on page 5, under debt interest, I threw in an item of debt interest principal building. I'm still throwing in for the building addition. I just got some rough figures from Next Tier Bank. If we were to do a $300,000 loan, because that was on the rough estimate that Jedco gave when we were applying for the LSA grants. I said, if I did a $300,000 loan and I could afford to pay $50,000 a year on it, what would the terms look like? And she said, well, the rates that they have as of this week are 5.2%. So 7 years, you would be paying like $51,000 and some change. An 8-year loan, you'd be paying the 50 or right under 50. So that's what I got. And then the state fund, I basically left it all exactly the same. After talking with Ted, he said leave everything the same as for next year's budget as what was budgeted for this year. The only change is the liquid fuel allocation. The letter I received is that we are getting less than what we got this year.
About $2,000, $3,000 less, because we got more than what their initial letter said.
Yeah. Yep.
Then,
So who knows what it'll actually be when we get it next March, but as of right now, their anticipated letter is 130 instead of the 133 that we received this year.
so the reason I had Sharon prepare it this way, we were talking last meeting, everyone said, let's move through this. So rather than us going line by line, I asked her to give us her recommendations as treasurer. We could all take the next month or until even the next meeting, review, see what we think, look at what we're looking at, and then come back and then convene and talk about things that we see, rather than us doing our typical line by line by line. She can give what she thinks fits, and then we'll come back with it next month and talk more.
I usually write down like where we are, on the last page, like where we are and the balances. And I forgot to do that on everyone's copies. So I'll verbally tell you, if you want to write it down, what the checkbook balances are as of today.
So this will be our beginning fund equity for next year budget.
Well,
But
we're going to be spending
it's
more.
gonna change, but
Yeah.
for now, this is what we're
Yeah.
looking at.
So in the general fund, we have $270,201.63. In the state fund, we have $92,813.93.
92,813, what?
93.
93.
So even whenever you look at the, expenses over income and what we would need to carry over, there's still over 100,000 play.
Okay. So rather than us diving into the depths of that, if it's okay with everyone, let's just look it over. Any suggestions, changes, comments, thoughts, we will revisit. That gives us all, rather than the mind numbing sitting here going line by line by line of budget versus actual for the year. Do it on your time, and then we'll come back and talk about it. If that's okay with everyone.
I think that's a great idea.
Awesome. So that being said, that's all we have for old business. We don't have to take action on that. We have no visitors. We have no reminders, additions, unless nothing before our next meeting here. We do have a need to go into executive session. So I'm going to make a motion. We go into executive session for potential litigation.
Lord, hold on.
Seconded by Kevin. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, let's head into executive session real quick here. If everyone would please grab
Is this
This
a space for
paper.
an executive session, or can we just go right in here?
We can just go right in here. This is not anything.
This isn't wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it is,
Yeah.
and you'll see why soon. But it's not.
Sorry, I was preparing Chris Goulet's packet.
Oh, is that what you have as critical packet under you?
Well, I took the packet next to me and was writing the checkbook balances on it, so I can drop it off at Chris's house.
Oh,
and
good
tell him
idea.
to do
Thank you,
something.
Tina. Thank you for joining us too. I don't know. He said he tried to come after softball.
Jesus
Hey,
Lord.
Charlie,
I don't know, but I don't know. You're dying, you better hope someone else is dying.
So we know as of last night, the authority has pretty much voted. Yes, once Phil rejoined the conversation, so that's what they voted. Their recommendation to us are either us find a way to take it over or sell it. Bill was very, very, very comfortable with selling it. Why? Yeah, he wants to do it. He is going to kind of brief talks with their financial pieces and let them know that they are trying to run out of jeopardy. But we are something, what can they talk about? I put together a super rough budget here. You'll see what I did here.
Why did they just not understand policy?
They don't have problems.
Oh,
They
they
can't
do.
have problems.
They did.
They make. In a way, yes, yeah. They're the ones that say, we're not doing this, you guys sell it. And then we say, yes, we sell it. But in the end, really, it's not all that. We created that really, we have the power. And I decided, well, and they apparently will talk about, they talk about many years. Bill brings it up every year they push it off. And they're pushing higher year, they push it off. The year. By the way, I put together a super rough budget based on the numbers they gave us on the left hand side. You see their current budget on the right hand side, which is my proposed budget with some rough numbers based off of what they gave, based off of some of my calculations. My knee-jerk thought, we've got some time, but not a lot of time to think about this, is if we take it on, we're gonna need to hire at least two more full-time and a part-time. That would be the ideal staffing. My thought is, we hire them into the public works department, we don't assign specifically water or roads. It allows all of our employees to do it. Whatever we need. Fun about it. It allows that fluidity there for us to kind of work with what we've got. Now, none of these numbers have been needed for our budget, so that's something to keep in mind. The things that might be a reduction are Sharon's salary with the water budget. Because she's going to be working on well, we need to hire a I'm surprised Sonia even does secretary and all three of them. That's a lot. And then to also have township stuff on top of it. I would recommend we probably move Sonia in as a mover.
And that's
She has
four hired.
yeah, so that's right. In the budget, but for maintaining her as an employee, she has a little more. I propose $30,000, but it's $30,000. We would take that. We get all their debts, all their money, everything's all. So they
had it, like, I had it instantly budgeted in for, and it brought it super tight. I did not put the road for in there. And I had put a water sewer system. Do you think that, like, we should manage this a little better? Like, then when we talk to somebody, we don't have to talk to them. So they can see somebody talking to share it. And it's literally like, we can only go to one person and do it fire on that day. Let them fill out. We have these like mom-dad relationships with everybody, dad's relationship, mom's bitch. You know, and we have to understand, it might, are we better off to try to figure out how to, I know that's like a big topic to break, like, well, and we're gonna be doing. As a borough manager by trade, I'm not opposed to it, you know. Well, we talked about it a little bit, a couple years ago, we did huge effort about looking into the, I mean, it was maybe we just needed some time. This is a lot more work. A lot more work, it's a lot more to manage.
There's a 24-hour on call, so they can be, I know we have a standard. If you have to look at the, I was before. It is.
We're trying to figure out how we can get that money for it. So far. I'm thinking 5 to 10. Just so. And then you add some other funds to it, and it would be feasible with a township manager, all 3 months. So yeah, $10,000 for you, my salary goes in, pay town on the water fund.
And then, this person knows it's not yet necessary to share and do how that bill and all that works, because sharing, yeah. You guys are gonna have to have a job description and other pieces, but also it does take the pressure on the sharing. There's just a lot that is.
And I think if we can help, if we went forward, I can say it's verbal. If you're gonna do this, figure this out, and I'll something right now. Yeah, they say. All of their. I was shocked. I gave them my good.
Terrible.
Right now, the total debt. Total debt we have to water, sewer, is $2,295,000.
Isn't it 178, right?
And actually, it's probably less than that now, that was 2.3 more. 2.15, 2.16 in sewer, and only 137,000. So the water system's almost paid off, the sewer system was high in debt, but what I'm gonna recommend is, they have on the, of their sewer fund. Oh, I did, profit on sewer. And I'm fine saving that money for the future, but if you're saving money, you're supposed to save water on sewer. in this instance. Our sewer is all gravity based. Very rarely do they have a break of the fall in the sewer system. Most of our maintenance goes in water.
So we're getting the first time. I know. They have nothing.
So, on the right side of that, you act on it.
But I think that's like the long term, like I think we can't just provide these people, and then we look at that and it's gotten pretty well down here, but it's really good to look for the, I don't know, we have to run it, I don't know, right? So then. Yeah, I'll like, that, and then, how, would you guys, what would you have to do that? That's that.
So that's the annual.
So that is tough. My biggest concern is that we can figure it out, and I stop everybody.
We were put in that situation. Sometimes, even if you, so when we do one step, we have to go through public policy. That's what we're going to do that. It's big things law. It takes a lot of people time to file, but ordinances have to approved by the state on it. On top of that, our county doesn't have a debt ceiling, which I would have to. So we pull into that, we self-liquidate that. So when self-liquidating that is, we have to have a minimum certified. These collectors are reasonable to pay off that debt. That's what we're gonna do. Certified financial. There'll be a lot of engineering people. We've probably got, I have to guess, 6 months, at least, before everything is done by. So that means the asset line. To me, it seems the authority is like no So we will ever have it all done. So we'll almost have to take, we will have to take over the board and say, this is how things are gonna run. This is all that. The only thing I can say is we're gonna have to Chris Lane. I'll have to for offer, great, one, need a reason stuff. Good to do it. Because as the sewer going to be served, there's also guy on top of it. Well, it's not sure.
Yeah.
And it's not, either way, it's not cheap, it's gonna be expensive. We really don't have an option. Well, you can do the thing. If that's all. If that's that's the lead, so from my understanding of the authority, he is. If not, the guy out about their definition is, he has a contract-based fee schedule on. But if we have to use it in the for a while, we get ourselves structured and available. That's what we love.
The reality though, we don't have to guess, we don't know stuff like, start hiring people, I mean, I don't. We can't hire them on our budget.
No, but we do know that by the end of this, we should follow the process. So it's like, are we? Like, we're willing to do, we're willing to take a review, but we need you guys to, at least a 1 year, take over. You know, I don't care, if we're sitting out, and when we come down to the fall, and Kevin says that, I don't know how bare minimum they can do from an operating standpoint, but, you know, maybe we could get them to agree to that, or even contract, or two, or contract bill, or contract bill, or however, instead of throwing out these other people, just, just like, we don't stand it in this agreement, it just says, hey, we'll help you live through these 6 month period, so that you guys don't like crush yourselves financially to take our problem already. My honest feeling with Bill, because he wants to. It seems like, yeah, to me, it seems like you can't do both. Understood. That's actually. Did fire inspection. It's either build, move, replace the wall. So we need someone to like the wall now. Where an engineer or one of these contractors are in there, like putting up your wall. You're already kind of there. What I'm saying, you know, I don't think that. But you don't know. When you take it over, I might have a little bit of idea.
If you're happy to do that, but still, probably different, where I fill out in what they're doing, and try to help hire, and we'll figure that out.
We agree. Yeah. That's what the problem is there. The generation always is walking away.
Well, that's what they kept asking them, like,
Instead of having them, could we get more aid? I mean, you know, could we make that, could we ask, I mean, again, I know this goes back to the union, too, right? You know, could we ask the question, I mean, like, I think long term, I'd rather have one of our day-to-day guys learning it. Yeah, it's just, you know, having the most understanding, who knows about it. I mean, it's just a thought, if we
and
can,
I thought we were trying to get them to apply for that, right?
if we can, if we can,
He was, he was, and hire crazy
I,
not that I actually think this, but I know. I do know her.
But regardless of it, I still think somebody should do it.
I agree.
By December, somebody.
I think it's sooner, I don't think by December, but I understand he's obligated, but he. Oh, but like I'm just saying, you. We
I
don't
know,
but that's what I said, like,
I would say my suggestion would be let's see. And then just say more. It would make more sense for it to be more, you could make sense to have it for the parking right now, rather than doing it right now, at the moment, but, well, I also think that. I think. Environmental guy, street all, maybe high. And then also,
I mean, having you go to somewhere, I guess. it's-
So, my month and a half. I'm asking for $3. I never thought that you were, I was just trying to take it off the plate. And maybe even, maybe even you made it.
Look, I had just heard Kevin say, I'll take this for the team and you will. I know. I know. Everybody start buying all the water.
Yeah, remember, a lot of races, thank God, we were about. The other day, so my thoughts there. I'm off the board. Immediately, it's really start doing that kind of job, federal money is there, and everything changes, full grants. Rise it. Main priority, ice pond tower is replaced, or second, next week, the one call for it, and the proposed piece of it, but three and ice pond.
Yeah, he's done already. He's done this week, he's done it.
So they don't know, they don't know. They really,
So the two lines that you look at, also know how to. They do not. Well, I mean,
that would be, I'm being.
follow, figure follow. See what I'm doing right now.
Okay, so regroup at the beginning of what we got now. Step one, Kevin volunteered, we're all okay, all okay with it, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Throw yourself at Phil and say, teach me your ways.
I have them.
Teach me your ways. Step one. Step two, we need to approach the whole authority and beg of them to keep it along while we go through the process. Like I said, at a minimum, I'm thinking. You're not doing it, you will figure it out.
Right, but we already stepped away from the free for all, and we'll just hire people and everybody to do all the jobs. We stepped away from that. So they're not just paying, we just hire more people to do the job. But, you can't.
No, I agree.
You have to offer the team,
Well,
they're separate.
I think it's possible.
No, I get it.
And I've been in the union, I'm dealing with the union on a daily basis now. Of you, by the way, if I went to their union right now, and said, by the way, I'm getting the job responsible to do this, it's pretty much the union for the time. Typically, we use this, oh, more overtime for our guys.
I don't think we have to do nothing for what we're doing, but
We do have growth. I understand what you're saying, I only fear of jumping over her head if the union reps the board.
You set up a meeting and you make all your
So you're saying, well, the rate event, and then all. Yeah. Realizing important things are never really felt, so you can't much less than this.
I just want to be there when the whole conversation gets started so that it can be.
I think that's.
It's to show up good faith.
Betty there.
But
I do, listen, I've come to learn how to work with Betty, one, she was my rep, not that. I've come to understand how to, if you approach her the right way, things can stay smooth, and I think everything. All the improvements, all the places. Here's what's going on, what do you? Because ultimately, in the end, it is our pay, it's fine. But the path of least majority. We have to figure this out.
I know it gets that. Sharon, I said, Sharon goes to like, no. Like, so we have to report it out.
And that's right.
So we all already have it.
It may, but at least we can hear what they're saying.
If they do have. These people, all they want to do, everything on the table. You might have concerns.
So how do
We-
we have that meeting? If it needs to happen, yeah.
See, more.
Where is
These two are usually pretty easy to correct. Or you have kids that do every sport under the sun. They don't get like that a lot of time. Direct negotiation issue with anyone. Any. So we have that issue. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just reminding you. Okay.
You don't have to.
it's going to eliminate a step, because it's going to then go from us back to them and then back
might be the first step.
You go out there, tell them that,
Let's wait till after the year, we'll grab and say, hey guys. What do you want to do? We'll talk. We just kind of go, like, no, we don't have to. I mean, the only thing we would have to do is, we probably should call them.
well, I just said we have to do
And
the
it's contractual, yeah.
employment issue, but we don't have to.
So
That's not a problem.
the meeting following that, whenever we have that meeting. That's our people.
Okay, who is, so Kevin Cameron, so. You're handling them. Letting,
It's not that.
that,
It's not much fun,
or
but
is it,
it's just brutal.
Can't think of all the things I gave you to eat for supervisor.
It's I don't cook lots of stuff for lunch, and I tell you. So I think I'm regretting that a little bit. That's not upset.
To me, mine, like when I do, Thursday, everything else with it, I'm like constantly just like, sits there.
I have a little bit of it. Sometimes when I drink water, after I eat, sometimes I do.
I appreciate it more.
yeah, and you need to test whatever, we can't hire people, and people say, we can't do anything like this.
It is my daughter, he's brought, what we need to do. He already offered. Hey, you're doing so on.
I know, well, that's what I'm saying, I mean, I'm happy to do the interview, and then go the rest of me from forever, yeah, I'll come with you. I'll learn how to interview, I'll interview you. Yeah, good. I got some detail, okay.
Jerry called Tom, I'll handle the weed, stuff with him. Team fill in the
I don't know how to do whatever anybody tells me.
Again, maybe.
We're not gonna be able to take it,
Yeah, you have to, you have to get them on the ball. You have to worry about what I'm doing. Okay, like, preferably for next week.
yeah, that's what it is. And it's nice, you know, kind of, they were, this is your job, right? And it's your report and all that. But this is his job, so he's gonna have to be.
I mean, we can make it just for any, be here and stuff, which we could do.
Yeah. Correct, so that's what I'm saying, I get it, I hear it, but like,
No, I'm fine. We can hear.
so don't say what?
Yeah,
here's what I know for a fact. Next, what is our different meeting next week? It is next week. So next Tuesday is Mason's last basketball game. Mason's last basketball game is Tuesday. So Wednesday, Thursday of next week, just say it has to be Wednesday, Thursday of next week. We need to do the interview, we need to do it.
Later in the day, like 7. I got one of those times.
I'm trying to make it at 7, but I think that's what we would say, like, oh my gosh, you want to see his picture?
Okay. That means that we all have to.
Look at it, you know, how cute. No, I think we're good.
I showed Kevin a video of me feeding a deer an apple in my yard and he said he would shoot it.
So I will put it, and I'll feed you the jerky I made out of that.
Okay,
That's what happened there. That was how we ended the session.
Terrific.
I know, isn't it?
Your jerky is good.
so we'll come back into order at 6:59 PM. Well, that was it. Motion for adjournment?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion by Jeremy, seconded by Kevin. All those in favor?
Bye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Whose dog is this?
Oh, no, sit down.
That's your dog.
We're not done, sit down.
Nothing.
Can I